Lex's Dirty Maintenance Show.
A sweet power slide.
Man, they said their AC's not cooling. It's all frozen up. I'm gonna let it thaw out and then check the charge.
Filter was really dirty too.
Yeah, now that the ice has melted, I noticed that the king valve for the suction side, the king valve cap is missing. So I had to run to the shop and get one. Gotta have your caps on, man. That ain't good. King valve caps and Schrader valve caps. They don't put them on there for nothing. Come on, I had to get everything hooked up, and I think we got a leak. Another leaky Goodman. It's not running yet, but I'm gonna turn it on. Looks a little low. It's leaking. This is the low side, the suction side. This is the high side. That's the PSI. Let's see what the superheat is. Superheat 54, 53. PSI is just way below. This is 410A. Way below where it needs to be. Alright, pull out the H10 leak detector and find the leak. This is a 2-ton, a Goodman 2-ton. See that 24 right there? That's how I know it's a 2-ton. Some people ask me how do you know what ton it is? If that was an 18, it'd be a 1.5 ton. It just goes up by 6. So 6 more. If that was a 30, it'd be a 2.5 ton. That's how you tell. It's on the condenser outside as well. This is the awful A-Wolf Goodman. Leaky coils all over the place. This is where they leak from 9 times out of 10, guys. Right here, where this little rubber piece where the aluminum meets the copper, they'll leak right behind here. 9 times out of 10 all over my property. I do 5 a summer and my coworker does 5 a summer. I've been here 2 years, so I've done about 13 so far. My coworker's done about 20. He's been here longer, so. And the place is only 4 years old. It's pretty bad. And now they're on back order. Now we can't get them. Now they're telling us September. So luckily we have 2 in the shop. If it's leaking here, I'm not sure where it's leaking yet, but this is the first place to check, guys, for the Goodman Awful A-Wolf. AWUF serial or model number. This is the H10. That's what I use for a leak detector. Let's get it popping. Popping like a metronome. Oh, what do you know? Right there in the hot spot that I just pointed at. Another leaky coil. Alright, I'm going to put bubbles on it just to show you where it's at. Well, it looks like I'm not going to need the bubbles. See where my screwdriver head is? Look to the right of it. Giant freon hole leak. And they all leak right here, all of them. So you got to replace the coil. You can't braze that up. This is aluminum. There's rubber right here. So you got to replace the whole coil. I'm going to break out the turbo torches. I threw some bubbles on it just so you new guys can see what a leak looks like. They're usually not this easy to find. But when you throw some bubbles around the braze joints, that's what you're looking for right there. You'll see it flash. Alright, since I'm by myself today, I don't have time to do a coil replacement, so I'm just going to top them off to get them through tonight, and I'll replace it tomorrow. I got work orders coming in like a sumbitch, and just gonna have to top them off. I purge the lines first. I mean, you just unscrew it here, you get all the air out on the yellow and blue and red. Now I'm just gonna top them off. I'm not going to worry about a target superheat because it's just going to leak out. But I'll keep them cool till tomorrow morning. Alright, first I'm going to pump the unit down. I'm going to put all the freon into the condenser. Had some people comment saying, you shouldn't pump it down. Well, I do. I've got units I pumped down years ago, and they're still doing fine. Alright, I got my high side king valve closed all the way. Low side barely cracked just to get the freon into the condenser. When my gauge gets to 0, I close the low side and then pull the disconnect. Alright, we're ready for pump down. I'm going to need both hands to do this, so it's going to be hard to record, but you get the point. Just let that go to 0, close it, pull the disconnect. All the refrigerant is going into the condenser. The line set and the coil upstairs will be empty. Alright, we're getting close. I'm about to close it and then pull the disconnect. Alright, we're pumped down to 0. All the refrigerant is in the condenser. Now I'm going to yank the coil out. Alright, that's what I'll be working with today. Just undo that, crescent wrench and some pliers, and I sweat that off with the torch. Look how tight it is, guys. You can't even get your torch back here. You have insulation over here you're going to light on fire if you bring the torch over here. So it's really tight, so I just do the best I can just to braze that up right there. So that's what we're working with. First thing I do is get these screws out. These are easy. Usually they're right up against the wall over here. You can't get your nut driver in there. Yeah, if you got a screw you can't get to. I can't get to this one with my nut driver because the copper line here. Just use one of these little babies. It's made by Husky. I'll leave a link to them in the description below. You get some delivered to your house, Skid. There we go. Lifesaver. I love these things. Oh, that junker's on there. There we go. Once I pull this off, I'll put a piece of foil tape over it just to keep the air and the moisture out. Look at that torch room. You do not have a lot of room. If you go over here, you're going to set the insulation on fire right here. Oh, big old pain in the booty. So just do the best I can. Alright, let's sweat this thing off. Fail big, learn big, baby. There we go. Now we yank her out. Get out of there. It's a boy. There it is. What's that glue at? Goodman, stop gluing your coils in. They're bolted in, they're brazed in. Gee whiz, guys. I'd use my heat gun to melt the glue to get it out. Stop gluing your coils, Goodman. Look, more glue. I like to take all this off the old coil and put it on my new coil. Just go back with how it is. On my other coil replacement video, it shows me doing everything, so I'm not going to film the whole process. We were actually in a damn panic for a little while, Skid. These things were on back order till September, they told us. We couldn't get any of this style coil until September. We're like, no, that ain't going to work. So John Stone happened to come through and got us a couple. These are still under warranty too, by the way. They were installed 4 years ago. Alright, got everything together. New coil is ready to go. You just take that off with your wrench, pull that off, and then cut that with your copper cutter. There we go. Swage it out. I like it. It doesn't throw any shards around or nothing like that. So it gets hot though, guys. Be careful. This some bitchin' pipe gets hot. Check it with a mirror. Got a little gooper on the back, but it's just the way it is. It's about impossible to get back there. Well, at least it doesn't look like that. That's what the installer did. Look at that. How about that for a braze, huh? Oh yeah, and the maintenance man's the hack, right? The maintenance man's the hack. Alright, let's pressure test this baby. Be sure to wrap a wet sock around this rubber piece while you're brazing. You don't want it to melt. I just use my old socks that get holes in them. I use them for pipe cooler. Got my piston back in. I'm about to screw that back on and then pressure test. Core in. Hey Goodman, by the way, while we're here, why not put the Schrader valve core in the front? Just a thought. Cause see, I have to go back here. This is in the way, all this is in the way, and try to screw the Schrader valve core in. Why not put it in the front, guys? Let's get another shot of this braze up here before I go. This is what the installer did. Let that burn into your mind. Look at it! Alright, I got my nitrogen hooked up. I do braze with nitrogen, guys, alright? I flow nitrogen when I braze. YouTube, please, don't give me a ticket. Watch my other videos. I'm done trying to prove myself with that. Alright, we got my nitrogen for pressure test. Just gonna fill it up and see if she holds. Alright, it's sitting at 204 with nitrogen. I'm gonna go eat my ass hair sandwich and let it sit a while. Come back and check it. Speaking of flowing nitrogen when you braze, do you actually think that guy, the guy that brazed that up there, that nasty braze we saw, do you think he was flowing nitrogen? I highly doubt it. You think anybody that does the apartment complexes, all these units, flow nitrogen? No. It's just good practice, new guys, to flow nitrogen when you braze. Alright, 204, hasn't budged yet, which is a good sign. I'm gonna go put some bubbles around the joint and see if we got bubbles. No bubbles, no troubles. Bubbling up the old braze joint. Everything looks good so far. I should bubble that damn thing. But another day, another time. I'll fight that battle. Alright, everything's looking cool. Okay, it's been 1 hour and it has not budged off of 204. So I think it's good. I love these things, guys. This is the first big job I've done with it. Fellow dirty maintenance guys, go tell your property manager to get you some damn Testos. Testo 557. You're gonna love them. Alright, I'm pulling a vacuum. I'm going to pull it down to 500 microns. There's the micron gauge. Just plugs into the top. Got it hooked onto the vacuum. It's just a simple dirty maintenance man setup. We don't get to do this every day, so just a simple setup. I dig it. Alright, we're down below 500. About to shut it down. I had a subscriber tell me on the last video I did to release the liquid side first. It's good practice to release the liquid side, so that's what I do. Here we go. All you're going to be doing is just opening up both king valves. I won't film the process. After I release the freon, I just like to give it a once over with the leak detector just to be sure. Before I button it up and start packing up tools. Packing up tools too early is a jinx. I think we're good. Recommended superheat 5. We are at 5. Correct charge. Oh yeah, it's blowing nice and cold. Alright, no more leaking coil. Blowing cold. Thank you for watching the Dirty Maintenance Show.